West Kennet Long Barrow is old, over 5,500 years old. It was here before Silbury Hill opposite and the Avebury Stone Circle, and there is a lot more to it than being just a tomb. It's part of the Avebury World Heritage site, and this video will cover dawn of the autumn solstice and some other interesting points, including sound reverberation, spooky goings on, burials and knife sharpening. The Long Barrow is situated here, just off the A4, about 2 miles from Avebury and about 6 miles from Marlborough, and also about 24 miles from Stonehenge. It is often possible to park on the lay-by on the A4, which also has a very good view of Silbury Hill opposite, and then it's a half-mile walk, including up this quite steep hill, but it is really worth the effort, with the views and the whole experience being in such an old building. It's fantastic. It was constructed around 3650 BC and is a scheduled ancient monument. Unlike many Long Barrows, this one has a roof, admittedly reconstructed, and it is quite possible, once you've gone past the entrance stones, to stand up and walk inside it, though mind the uneven floor. This was an ancient burial site and has some very interesting characteristics. One is the alignment with the sun, and I got there at 6 in the morning to experience it. If there is no cloud, then the sun should shine through this gap in the rock, and the beam should then work its way across the inside of the barrow. This is the view at dawn, 1 week after the September Equinox. The tomb is aligned so the sun should shine in the spring and autumn. Just before the cloud covered the sun, I managed to record its beams hitting the outside and then the inside of the tomb. It was really quite amazing to witness, and if the cloud had not come in, the beam would have continued to move right round the tomb as the sun rose. Another interesting point is the reflection of sound inside the tomb. There are 5 chambers, and the first 2 resonate at 84 Hz, which, if you know music, is a low note E. And then the corridor and the next 2 chambers resonate at 110 Hz, a note A. If you have a deep voice, it is possible to sing these notes and listen to the resonance as the sound bounces off the sides of the chamber, particularly in the first 2, which have smoother rocks. It's well worth a go if you can. I just wish I'd recorded it. Coming outside, although the barrow now looks like a grass-covered mound with stones at the front, it would actually have been shiny white from the chalk that made it up. And being on the top of the hill, it really would have been quite a spectacle to see. However, with time, it has naturally grassed over to become what we see today. If we look at the entrance, once you've climbed past the stones, there are a couple with these really deep grooves. These grooves were actually formed from axe or flint knife sharpening. They are very smooth, and there are several examples in the tomb, and there's also a couple at the Avebury Stone Circle. Sarsen stone, which these are made from, is very hard and would have been a very good sharpening stone for the axes and knives. Almost certainly these grooves would have been created before the stone was used to construct the tomb, as it would have been far more practical for the stone to be flat on the ground when used for sharpening purposes, and then it might have had some significance as to why it was then used in the tomb. The barrow wasn't just abandoned when it ceased to be used, it was actually sealed up, and it was sealed up about 2000 BC, and it stayed that way pretty much until some initial excavations in 1859. And then there were some more scientifically based excavations in the 1950s, when the tomb was reconstructed into pretty much what we see now. It was actually put together pretty accurately, with nearly all of the stone being original. There was a roof added that initially had 3 windows, only one of which, the one nearest the entrance, is not blocked now. However, this probably enhances the experience of being in the tomb and is more like it would have originally been when first constructed, being very dark at the rear. Not surprisingly, given its age and the dark interior, there have been many reports of spooky goings on, and it certainly has a feel about it. If you're on your own and inside, the mind can go into overdrive, possibly hearing sounds and feeling cold shivers. During the 1950s excavations, the remains of 30 to 46 individuals were found, one of which had an arrow wound to the throat. So there are certainly the bodies to back up the spooky feelings that can be felt. But overall, the experience of walking into a 5,500-year-old building is quite bizarre and well worth it. And it's free at any time you wish to go there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience. Change seen through images.